Okay, so it has been way too long since I've recorded and sat down and put up a video, but this look is inspired by nails that I just did on myself. They're just like color strip nails, but they're really pretty. They've got a gray base with gold designs, so that's what I did on my eyes. I'm also wearing a wig. It's my first attempt to install a wig. I did a terrible job, but whatever. It's okay. It's fun. So if you want to see what I did, keep on watching. Before we get into today's video, a little bit about myself. I'm a licensed esthetician, a professional makeup artist, and these are my various social media outlets, so be sure to like, subscribe, and give me a follow. Alright, getting back into it now. To start, I have already primed my lids using Urban Decay Shadow Potion, Primer Potion, and going in with some concealer. To start, I'm going to be using these shadows here. These are Viseart shadows. I'll list what palette they're from down below, but I'm just setting underneath the eye with the lightest shade, then going in with that light taupe shade into the crease, and then the gray shade all over my eyelid. I'm just packing the color on and then buffing the edges out. And doing this, going back and forth to build up the intensity to the level that I want it to be at. I don't want to do a super dark eye, at least not on the lid, because I am going to be going in and deepening up the crease using that dark charcoal, little bit of a satin shade that I just pointed to right now. So first I'm using that as a liner base. I'm doing a slight wing at the end, though it's not a full wing, and I'm going to use that to carve out my crease. Just going in with a short, dense pencil brush to do that, and then going back with the fluffier brush to blend the edges so that it's nice and soft. This is something that you can go back and forth on until you're at the desired intensity that you want to be at. So that's what I did. I just went in and back and forth a couple of times. I did not connect the shadow liner with the cut crease. However, you can do that if you'd like to. And then once I've done that, I want to just brighten up the lid a little bit more. So I'm going back in with a mix of that light khaki color and the light gray, just to kind of crisp up the edge and the base shadow a little bit more. Now for the gold liner that I'm using, I actually mixed, this is a shadow from the ABH Soft Glam palette. It's the lightest shimmery gold in the palette. It's called Fairy. And I mixed that with Inglot's Duraline to create a nice fluid waterproof liner to use. So going in with just a thin liner brush, I'm starting, as you can see, a little bit further into the corner of my eye, almost to the bridge of my nose. I'm cutting into the crease. I'm going just a little bit beneath the line that I did, and then I'm extending that outwards. You don't have to do that. You don't have to create the wing that I am, but I thought that the color was light enough that it didn't look actually so dramatic because it is so light. So I'm taking that same color again, and I'm creating a wing on the, my actual lash line. And just going to go back in with the color. I'm actually taking some of that mixture that I made, that waterproof liner liquid mixture, and I'm going back and forth between using that and then just using some of the shadow dry on top of it. I felt that doing that gave it a little bit more of an opaque pop, but having that base and alternating between that and that little liner that I made really ensured the longevity of the liner and that it was going to stay put. Now you can leave it blank, kind of, well, not blank, but just the two wings, but I wanted to create a little bit more visual interest and do a little bit more with the gold. So I feathered the gold in on that outside portion of the wing, connecting the two and bringing it in. It's not super dramatic, but I thought it made a really nice subtle touch. And then I lost the footage of me doing my face. So this is me going in to do my skin. I filmed it the next day, sans wig. I had to take it off because I didn't put it on right and it was killing my head. But to start, I'm using Sonia Roselli Beauty Water Elixir and Water Balm. And then I'm mixing Face Atelier with that's my cat Zeba. She's making a guest appearance, with Becca Liquid Highlight in Moonstone. And I'm shearing it out a little bit with more of the Sonia Roselli Water Elixir. So I'm just packing that on, not packing, but patting that on my skin, buffing it out. For this look, I wanted to do a really very glowy skin. You're going to see that I'm not going to go in with the liquid or the cream contour. So just buff it in, make sure that I'm happy with the coverage. I'm really just using this to sheer, in a very sheer way to even out my skin tone. And any actual blemishes that I have, my dark circles, anything that I want covered more than this foundation will give me, the foundation mixture will give me, I'm going in with Danessa Myricks Concealer on a flat shader brush. This concealer is very opaque and it dries down very matte. It's very full coverage. I really like it. So I'm just using a little bit of that under my eyes, not a lot. And the rest of it's going where I have blemishes or redness. I'm PMSing at this point, so my skin is breaking out like crazy. So yeah, just dotting that all over, blending it out with my fingers and the brush, just going back and forth. And if there's anything else that still needs a little bit more, I'm going to go in with a second layer of that. If you find that for some reason your blemishes really do not want to stay covered, what I recommend doing is applying your concealer, and then before you actually blend it out, let it dry mostly. So when you do blend out the edges, it really keeps it in place and the concealer doesn't move that much, and it allows you to get more of a full coverage than if you just went in and blended it out right away. I'm also using a little bit of that on my lips to blend out with my foundation brush to blank them out for later. So I'm planning on going in with just a lip gloss for a nice glossy nude lip. So just pat, pat, pat. And next what I'll be doing is mixing that neutral cream blush with more of that same highlighter. For this, I'm not doing the apples of my cheeks, and I'm not really going down that far. I'm almost using this as kind of like a sculpting, contouring kind of situation. So you can see I'm going very high up with the blush, and I'm going in with a noticeable amount, but because it's neutral, I don't think it looks too clownish. So I just kind of created a C shape on the tops of my cheeks, like top of my cheeks on the sides, going up into the temples. Then I took more of that liquid highlighter. Again, this is Becca's Moonstone, and I'm applying that on the high points of my face with my brush. Now, obviously, I didn't do this before I did the eyes, but I was filming a second look after this, so I did that here. Otherwise, I tried to keep the face exact much, the same as I did it the day before. But just blending that out with my fingers, and the glow that this gives you is like, look at that. Oh my God, that sheen is amazing. So once I've done that, just blending out underneath my eyes, making sure there's no creases before I set. If you don't blend and set, or you don't blend out any creases under your eyes before you set them, you're just going to set your creases, and we don't want to do that. Now that's pretty much all I did for setting the face before going in with blush. I'm using that kind of darker neutral shimmery shade that I pointed to, going over just where I applied the cream blush, and then I'll be going on top of that onto the high points of my face with that really light, it's a white kind of highlight powder with a gold reflect in it. It was a Sephora color. They don't sell it anymore, but it's pretty much a dupe of NARS Albatross. Once I've done that, mixing two colors I don't remember the name of, but just a bronzer and a gold shimmery dark highlight, mixing the two of those together to get a soft shimmery bronze shade, and I'm using that to go over kind of lightly pretty much where I put the blush. Now, if you've seen my other videos, you'll know that I am a fan of much lighter, natural looking brow, or not lighter, but more feathery, fluffy, natural looking brows. Even when I do a darker brow, I don't like to fill them in a lot. However, for some reason, when I did this look, I was just digging the idea of like a really full brow. So that's what I did. Still kept the strokes small, still made sure that I kept blending because I didn't want it to look blocky, but I definitely wanted to go in and create a more dramatic brow with this. So I felt that it really played off that kind of softer eye and glowy skin well. So I'm taking whatever leftover concealer I have, it's not much, and just lining just a touch underneath the brow and just a little bit on top too. I'm not doing a full carve, but I just wanted to clean up the line a little bit. So I set the brows with the NYX Super Control Freak, the Control Freak gel, and then I'm going in with, this is an ULTA, like their Harry Potter collection lip gloss. It's called Hedwig. It's just a clear lip gloss with a lot of gold reflex in it. Once I'm done with that, I'm setting my face using the blue marble setting spray. I don't know why I do it so aggressively. I feel like I'm dying after. But now you will see me do the lip gloss and the setting spray again once I finish the rest of the face and go back to the previous day. But I couldn't remember what I lost in the filming, so I just did it again. So underneath the brow bone, I took the lightest off-white shade in the palette underneath the brow and a little bit more of that super light gold just to give a dusting, a little more sheen under there. And then I curled my lashes and I went in with 2 coats of mascara on the top and a good coat of mascara on the bottom. One thing I forgot to mention before, when I was doing that lightest gold, which is called Fairy, as the liner, I also went in a couple of times with the darker gold bronze, just when I wanted it to look a little bit deeper. There was kind of not really a rhyme or reason. Some places I just thought I wanted it, so that's what I used then. Again, going in with that lightest gold, which is Fairy, and I'm putting that on the inner corner. And here comes the lip gloss and I believe the setting spray eventually. But I really love this lip gloss. I don't know if ULTA makes one that is like that. That's not limited edition, but I'm going to have to see. For liner on my waterline, this color is Matte Nude. The brand is in French. I can never frickin' remember how to pronounce it. A client pronounced it because she spoke French once, and I know I'm doing it wrong, but it's Jouer, whatever it is. I'll put it in the description box, but that's the liner I'm using in the waterline. Now here I am spraying my face, and these are baby wispy lashes. Actually, baby demi-wispies. So I just measured them and then applied some glue. I didn't have to cut them, so I didn't. Applied some glue on a little bit to get a little tacky, and I'm starting to put them down. Quick disclaimer, never, ever, ever blow on your glue or blow on your makeup when it's being used for a client. I'm doing this because it's my own eye, but if you are doing it on somebody else, friend, family, whatever, don't ever blow on it. It's not sanitary. But anyway, I digress. Once I had them on well, I go in with the lash curler again. This just really squeezes the fake lashes with your real lashes so you don't have any of those gaps and creates a better, more natural look. And that's it. That's the look. I thought it was really pretty, a little bit different. Not super dramatic. I think if you wanted to make it even more dramatic, you could always add a black liner to go alongside the gold, you know, kind of use it to box out the gold, if you will. But I wanted it to be a little bit more delicate looking, like the nails are. So those nails I'm wearing, they're my real nails, and it's Dashing Diva color strips. You can get them at Walgreens. That's where I got this set. I believe it was Walgreens or Walmart. And yeah, that's me attempting to model, me saying goodbye, and then I'm going to start talking about my wig because, woo, I did a bad job. Look at that. Look at that. My big fat ass head did not even fit this wig. My head is so big. I feel like maybe an emo Fargus from Merida or like a hipster Merida from Merida, you know, from Brave. Richard the Lionheart. A cross between Beast when he turns human at the end of Beauty and the Beast and maybe like Weird Al. Yeah. Or possibly like a really trashy Fae from the Autumn Court and A Court of Thorns and Roses book series. Anyway, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any requests, let me know. Bye.